View is the author of the biography Trump Nation, The Art of Being the Donald. So Tim is back, and so talk to me about that experience and how you said he admitted to lying.
Well, he admitted he had to acknowledge 30 lies.
30 lies.
On matters big and small. He acknowledged that he had lied about his ownership stake in a major development on the west side of Manhattan. He acknowledged that he had lied about how big the Trump Organization was. He acknowledged that he had lied about how many debts he had. He acknowledged that he had lied about his wealth. He acknowledged lying about needing to borrow money from his family when he almost went personally bankrupt. He lied about the fees he got for speeches.
So big and small lies, it all came out when he
routine. And the problem in our deposition was my lawyers were very well prepared, and they had documentation. We had business records, banking records, receipts for payments, etc. So we simply put questions in front of him that he then had to answer that ran contrary to this long history of bloviating in public.
The other thing that you have personally dealt with is the tape issue.
The tapes.
Didn't then Donald Trump say, what did he say to you about being recorded?
Well, he would always say, when we'd speak on the phone, we spoke very frequently at one point, multiple times a week. He would say, you don't mind if I record this, do you? And I'd say no. Or we'd be in his office, and he'd just say, I may be recording this. And I said, that's fine. And I was actually recording things too, so all's fair in love and war. But
he wasn't.
He wasn't. We finally, during the deposition, said to him, you said it multiple times, Mr. O'Brien, that you were taping because obviously we wanted some of those tapes ourselves for the litigation. And he had to say, no, in fact, I didn't have a taping system in Trump Tower, and I don't have one, and never had one.
And so you're convinced, even though we don't know yet, even though everyone and their mother keeps asking the White House, are there tapes, you're convinced they don't exist?
I don't think Jim Comey has to worry that there are tapes. I think the weirder thing about all of this is that the White House continues to make this into some sort of like a reality TV show game. Sean Spicer at the press conference today was asked again, do the tapes exist? And he said, well, as the president told you in the Rose Garden on Friday, we will know in a couple of weeks, dun, 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 dun. And it's not really the kind of comportment or behavior we're used to seeing in the Oval Office.
So that's TBD, and when we get the answer in the tapes, they know the answer. That's the thing I think that irks all of us. And then just finally, under the category of lying or just lack of truth, however you want to say it, the golf outings. I mean, the president has apparently been golfing some 32 times. It's been tallied. Listen, I mean, I don't care if the guy plays golf. It's acknowledging. It's when reporters go to the White House and they ask what the president's been up to on the weekend, they will not acknowledge, especially because of the hypocrisy and all the times he slammed in President Obama, for hitting the links.
Well, I think precisely because of that. Because yet again, there's a long record of Trump going after President Obama for being less than dedicated to the hard work of being the president. And Obama didn't golf nearly as much as President Trump. Trump basically lives on the golf course on weekends. And, I think this larger issue about these big and small lies is he's under investigation potentially for everything that he said in the past year or so as it conflates with this Russian investigation. And I think he has to be very careful that he doesn't wind up discovering that he's perjured himself in the course of some of these things because he doesn't really distinguish between big and little lying because it's a routine part of how he rolls every day.
What is the hyperbole? The art of the deal? What's the word?
Oh, he called it truthful hyperbole.
Truthful hyperbole.
Yes.